There are some parts of English that are tricky and you just have to memorize them. They don't necessarily come naturally. Today we're going to talk about one of those parts of English, and those are the verbs that we use with a gerund or an infinitive. Even that description might be a little confusing to you, but that's okay. We'll figure it all out today. Thanks for joining me. Let's jump in. Hi there, I'm Phil, and thank you for joining me as I share a couple of tips with you that I would share with my own students as I teach here at Majak in the Czech Republic. Okay, before we talk about what verbs to use and how to use them, let's start with what is a gerund and what is an infinitive. So a gerund is something that is a verb, but now we're going to take a verb and we're going to put ing on the end of it and make it into a noun. So this form of it is actually a noun. So instead of the verb ask, for example, we have asking. So in this case, the way we'll use it today, it turns it into sort of a noun. It's the thing of asking. And the other part we have today are infinitives. And I think you probably know about infinitives. It's just to plus the verb. So to do, to ask, to walk. It's the to form of the verb, the kind of basic form. So that's easy, that's well and good, but the problem is that when we use these gerunds or infinitives, there are verbs that we use with them. Some words take an infinitive only, some words take a gerund only, that's the ing form, and some can take either. You have a choice. You can use either one with them. So today we're going to take a few basic verbs that you probably use and that I often hear mistakes with when I listen to people speak English, and we will see what we can do with them, see which one they take. Let's start with the verbs that take a gerund only. So the first verb we'll start with is appreciate. When you like somebody and they've possibly done something nice for you, and you can say, I appreciate them. And that's easy. We can say, I appreciate them, or I appreciate it. But we can also use this in a different way. So let's try to use it with a gerund. For example, at the end of a letter, or at the end of an email, I appreciate hearing from you. So I appreciate hearing from you. We have the verb hear, but we add ing on it, so it's the noun hearing. What do you appreciate? I appreciate hearing from you. Great to use at the end of an email or a letter. Enjoy. We enjoyed visiting them. This is a great one. We enjoyed visiting them. Enjoy is a word that's very common. We use it often, but we do not use to with it. We don't use an infinitive. I hear lots of people saying, we enjoy to visit them. No, we don't enjoy to visit somebody. We always only use a gerund. I enjoy visiting them. Next word with a gerund only is admit. When you admit to something, it means you know that you did something wrong and you tell it, you say it, you're honest about it. We could use this word in lots of situations. One situation could be, for example, in a courtroom. The criminal admitted doing the crime. The criminal admitted doing the crime. We don't say the criminal admitted to do the crime. Doing. Now let's do a little quick switch here with infinitives. Some verbs only take infinitives. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. You could find thousands more, but let's just do a few examples to get going on this. Agree. When two people make an agreement, they want to do the same thing, so we use the word agree. So we can say the friends agree to meet next week. The friends agree to meet next week. We don't say the friends agree meeting next week. We don't want a gerund here. We must only use to do something. The friends agree to meet next week. Promise. I promise to do better next time. I promise to do my homework. I promise to love you forever. I promise to do, to love, to take. Refuse, to not do something, to not want to do it. So the child refuses to eat his vegetables. The child refuses to eat his vegetables. And remember, it must be to eat. It cannot be The child refuses eating his vegetables. Ugh, it just sounds bad because it is bad. The child refuses to eat his vegetables. Okay, now everybody just relax. The hard part is over. We've done a few verbs that take only gerund and a few verbs that only take infinitives. Now I want to share a few with you that you can just choose. And these are important to remember too, because as you use these next few verbs, and others as well, they're ones that you can choose if a gerund comes out of your mouth or if an infinitive comes out of your mouth. It really doesn't matter. So love. We use love all the time. Children love playing. That's a gerund. Or children love to play. That's an infinitive. You can use either one. They're exactly the same. Like. I like to ski. I like skiing. I like to ski. I like skiing. My son is on a ski trip right now, so I hope when he comes back he can say, I like to ski. Or he could say, I like skiing. Hate. It's kind of the opposite of love, right? I hate talking about politics. Or, I hate to talk about politics. What's something you hate to talk about? Do you hate talking about politics? Do you hate talking about religion? Do you hate talking about English grammar? What do you hate talking about? Tell me below in the comments. What do you hate to talk about? And then prefer. Prefer. So I prefer to eat a light dinner. Just something small. I prefer to eat a light dinner. Or I prefer eating a light dinner. Either one is fine. You can choose. Isn't that great? There are lots more words that we could choose. I have looked online. You can find list after list after list of verbs that go with gerunds, infinitives, or both. That's fine, and as your vocabulary increases, you can look for more. But today, we have a few words, and I know there are a few of these words that you could use today in some writing, in an email, in a conversation with somebody, even just record yourself saying it the correct way. So today, do what you can to use what you know. Have a good day, and thanks for joining me.